Hello, all. This is Deaconess Aisha Boykin with Holy Tabernacle Church of Brockton/Judah Ministries, coming today with the good news from the sanctuary. I hope everyone is well on today. Lord, thank you so much for this day that you have allowed us to see. Thank you for brand new mercies that you have granted us. Even as I share a tidbit, Lord, help it to actually be encouraging to someone and to a blessing according to your will. And we are grateful, and we ask this in Jesus' name. So today I actually wanted to share a little bit about 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter. And I wanted to start off with verse 4, which says that love is patient. And when I've been reading these verses, sometimes I read them and I'm just trying to chew on them and think about what does that actually mean when it says that love is patient. Well, one way that we can figure out what love is patient is all about is actually to look at the antonym or the opposite word. The opposite word for patient is impatient. So if we look at the meaning of that word, that might give us a little bit more understanding of what patience is not. So a dictionary definition of the word impatient says that the word impatient is having or showing a tendency to be quickly irritated or provoked. Other definitions of the word impatient include obviously not patient or characterized by being short of temper or restless, especially under irritation, delay, or opposition. So in other words, the opposite of patient is to be marked by impatience or to have no patience or a lack of patience. That is actually the opposite of the word patient. So basically, we can say that if love is patient, we know that love is not easily or quickly irritated or provoked. Synonyms that I found, or words that share a similar meaning to the word patient, may include forbearing or to be forbearing, to be long-suffering, stoic, or tolerant. Patience is the capacity or the habit of being patient. And to this, I myself have to chuckle a little bit because I can think of daily instances where there is tremendous struggle with some scenarios in which patience, in my opinion, should not be that difficult, but sometimes it really is. And some of the examples I think of, you may share in them as well, because I think they're universal. But you think of stuff like, you are driving and it's not Sunday. My husband and I often joke about, Sunday drivers, if someone's driving on the road and they're driving really slow, but, if it's not Sunday, we're like, wow, it's not Sunday, so I'm not sure why we have Sunday drivers on the road. But you think of that person that is in front of you that for whatever reason is going really, really slow and like really, really slow and wondering what's going on, that they're going so slow. You have somewhere to go, and then you can start to feel irritated and you can start to feel your patience go right out the window. Or it could be that you are the driver and you have someone that is driving so close to you that they might as well be in your back seat. And they're riding on your bumper real close. You can't turn quick enough, you can't put your signals on quick enough, and by the time that they leave you, sometimes they may even share with you some explicitives with you to let you know that they were not feeling particularly patient with the way that you were driving. Other situations have been, you are running late, you run into a store, or say you run into a pharmacy. You may have the kids in the car, or you may be on your way to work and you literally just ran in there for something very quick. You get to the cash register and you are standing there for what would appear to be an extremely long time because there may be someone who's ripping out their coupons at the register. They're giving all their coupons to the person. They may have questions about why something costs this, need to do a price check, or they're trying to get the best deal and you're thinking, man, why did I come in here? I have other stuff to do. Why is this person taking so long? We have other situations where You may be sitting down to eat your meal. You're not necessarily feeling particularly social. You just hoping just to kind of eat your meal and just relax for the rest of the day. And you can see coming to your house maybe a group of folks from another religious group, and they're going to come right to your door. They're coming because they believe that they're going to be witnessing to you. But again, you may start to feel not a lot of patience and not really wanting to be bothered at that moment. Or it could be that you are getting ready to have that conversation with your spouse or loved one, an important conversation that needs to happen. In that particular moment, you are inside just really kind of wanting to blurt out how you feel and struggling with how to be patient in that interaction. Whatever it is, whatever the struggle, we know that there's scenarios every day that we face where there are opportunities before us to practice patience. And I'm just going to read 1 Corinthians 13th chapter, verses 4 through 7, as I started off with just verse 4. But it says, again, 1 Corinthians 13, beginning with verse 4 through verse 7, love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. And verse 8 goes on to say, love never ends. There are definitely many opportunities every day for us to practice the art of patience, but it definitely takes God's help with this to help us to work, stretch, and practice using these virtues that are given from God. And we definitely cannot successfully exercise patience or any of these other attributes without God. What we can do is we can allow ourselves to slow down a bit each day and ask that God would help us to recognize when we may be struggling to be patient, and then ask that He would give us of His strength and wisdom to respond in a way that honors Him and honors the interaction. Indeed, if love is patient, then love should not be rude, as it says in verse 5. And if love is not rude, then it should not be arrogant, as it states in verse 4. And if it's not arrogant, then it should not insist on its own way, as verse 5 states. And as verse 5 also states, it should not be irritable or resentful. So we definitely need the Lord's help to be able to have the strength to practice patience, and that He would give us the strength and the wisdom to be able to do that. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless you.